We talk about in the news, you hear about these stories about, people escaping fines. You hear about fines being levied for different reasons. You hear about people winning money for different reasons or being awarded money for different reasons. And that is the crux of this segment right now, the current segment that we're in. And this story I found particularly interesting, Caleb. You sent me this on Facebook earlier. But, it's a pain in the ass when you get a ticket. But I love the way that this woman got out of it.
Yeah, she got out of a ticket for basically pronunciation or punctuation. So the law was written. It says any motor vehicle, camper, trailer, farm implemented and or non-motorized vehicle. She had it parked in front of her in a certain area where you're not allowed to park it. Well, between motor vehicle and camper, there was no comma. Now, there's a comma after camper between trailer, farm, and all the other things. So she took it to court and said, it says any motor vehicle camper. My car is not a motor vehicle camper. Therefore, it is exempt from this law. And judge agreed with her.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's slick. I mean, the woman, she took it to court herself. Did she have a background as an attorney, or was she just smart enough to point that out?
I think she was just smart enough to point it out.
Because that's the kind of thing that an attorney would jump all over.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great loophole.
Well, see, the weird thing is you hear about it all the time with attorneys finding fault in the actual parking ticket. This was in the law.
It's a typo.
Itself.
It's a simple typo.
This is a typo in the law, though. So anybody can.
The actual law.
It's not the ticket itself. It's a typo in the city ordinance. It says any motor vehicle, camper, comma, trailer, comma, farm implemented and or non-motorized vehicle. So she says this is not a motor vehicle camper. Now the law meant to say any motor vehicle, comma, camper.
Right.
But her car is not a motor vehicle camper, so she got out of her pickup truck.
That's pretty awesome.
At the end of the day, if you're going to levy a punishment, whether it be a fine or whatever, for what you deem as an offense, some kind of criminal offense, it's up to you to make sure that this is punctuated properly, that everything is spelled correctly. It's got to be. I mean, talk about an embarrassment to that law enforcement organization. I mean, that's tremendously embarrassing.
Oh yeah, and there's bills that go through different government, state, local, federal governments, and they argue for days on punctuation, things like that. They say you even get involved with the big argument over the Second Amendment and what the meaning is behind it. So this is just a simple typo. Not, it's not a misinterpretation. It's just a typo that she found and said, screw you guys.
Yeah, some things can be fully left to interpretation, like the Bible maybe. But
no, that's factual, 100%.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It was written by not real men. It's like fake gods and stuff. I don't know. But it's all fact. Have you ever been to church? It's completely 100% real. Great, now I'm going to get fired for saying that.
Yeah.
That was an incredible leap from a parking violation to religion.
No, he was talking about interpretation, so that was not a far leap.
It kind of was, but
no, it wasn't. Interpretation. They all interpret whatever.
I love the look that Ben just gave you. I wish we had video on the radio here.
We should have Periscope. We got disconnected. For anybody that's just tuning in, the show got disconnected. Do you have any idea how long it was, maybe?
About 30 seconds.
Okay, so you caught it right away. So
yes.
That's great. So, if you're just tuning back in, if you got dumped when you were listening, all you got to do is jump back on again. Sometimes we have that happen here from time to time. But
actually, I'm sorry, it was about 8 seconds.
Oh,
whatever.
That was really quick then. Good on you, buddy. But we'll splice it together. We'll have them both on in two halves on Spreaker.com. You can tune in for that. And if you want to be a part of the show, you want to call in like the great John Wilson did from Liverpool, you can do so 813-438-6068. Guys, when I was a kid, my favorite show when I was a kid was Magnum P.I.
Oh, Higgins and TC.
I loved the shit out of that show.
I hated
dude.
Rick, though. It is little
Rick,
flip-up glasses.
I didn't like Rick
such
either.
A douchebag.
Yeah, Rick was definitely
He was the
a
little
doucher.
lackey of the group.
Yeah, and Magnum P.I. was a great show. It really boosted the visibility, the prominence of Tom Selleck. But Tom Selleck's in the news now, not for being a sex symbol, not for being a famous actor, but for stealing water. In California, they've got a lot of water restrictions, right? And
huge droughts going on.
Obviously they've got some real drought issues, and this was an underserved state when it comes to water to begin with. It never rains over there. But Tom apparently got in trouble because going as far back as 2013, more than a dozen times he'd already been caught sending a truck down to a fire hydrant that was apparently several miles away from his ranch. He has a 60-acre ranch.
A fire hydrant?
Yeah, he has a 60-acre ranch.
Yikes.
That's in.
When you have to fill a whole truck, that's the fastest way.
It's in Westlake Village, right? And he's got he has an avocado farm.
Oh.
And so he wanted to keep this thing, keep the crops going, keep everything watered. So he sends this truck, and like I said, he had been busted over a dozen times and was ordered to stop trucking water from this fire hydrant back in November 2013. Investigators report that they'd spotted a white truck filling up water again at least 4 times in March of 2015. So Magnum PI is now facing a $22,000 fine for stealing water. Now, is that too light? I mean,
it's too light.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. And the reason why, I was thinking about this whole time you were talking about it, at least he was stealing water to produce food. It wasn't like he was stealing water like you would typically expect to hear of a celebrity stealing water to fill their swimming pool or to run their fountain or to make a slip and slide in their backyard.
Yeah, but other farmers have to pay. Why shouldn't he pay?
Oh, no, I don't disagree that he shouldn't have to pay. But at least he's doing it for a food source. He's not just doing it because he's a celebrity on a whim.
I do love avocados, so I let him slide.
Well, and the thing is, he did want to pay. He wanted water for the crops, but because of the water restriction, he's not allowed to.
Well, does it say, has he contested this fine at all, or is he just going to pay it?
Are all the cops going to steal his crops?
They haven't said that he's contesting it at this point, but they're supposed to be cutting their water usage in California by 25% right now.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So
how do you do that when you're growing food? I mean, how do you really do that?
So outrageous taxes, and you don't get any amenities.
Oh, the weather's so great there, but wait, it doesn't rain, so you can't live.
Huh.
And the ground swallows you up.
This is true. And you might fall off into the ocean.
Yeah.
And people are obnoxiously self-righteous.
And the Hiltons get married. I found that. I saw that article.
In London.
In London. And you have whores for bridesmaids. Oh, wait, that was her sister.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what's the difference?
Now, I'm kind of upset.
She was a classy whore in this one, though.
She was in all-night vision.
I'm kind of upset at Magnum for doing this, not because he stole the water. I'm upset because, look, Magnum's a private investigator. Okay,
he is a PI.
He is a detective,
and he is a Higgins.
He is a detective. He's got a lot of resources from Robin Masters and from Higgins, who is Robin Masters, as you find out when you watch Magnum PI. But his buddy TC's got a helicopter. I mean, he could have just flown.
That's $600 an hour, my friend.
Yeah, I went hoppers. I mean, he could have just flown that helicopter to the hydrant and then took off real quick. And, nothing says inconspicuous like a red, yellow, and orange striped helicopter, right?
Yeah, it's like a Jamaican helicopter with a black guy inside.
Right. I mean, that's totally inconspicuous.
Everybody knows black guys don't fly helicopters, really.
He was just Jamaican some water.
He's just Jamaican it to the other island, baby. Oh, Lord. Where have we gone? Is it my turn?
Actually, it's my turn again.
Dear God, Mandingo Party. Oh, no, that's
another one.
That's next segment.
We're having the
Mandingo
Party.
Wasn't Felix in Kenya one time at a Mandingo or something?
He was, yeah. He did make a reference to
something about a Mandingo Party.
We're talking about fines. We're talking about the ticket that the woman got out of. But in this case, you hear about a large corporation getting fined, and I love this story. Okay, you know how nowadays the robocall thing is huge? Are you going to drink my soda with your herpy lips
I just want a sip of it.
Jeez.
I got heartburn.
I want to sip on you.
I'm going to have to go get a Z-Pack after I drink out of this thing.
You should have one living here anyway.
You need a ZD.
The great Dirty Curdy and her friend Megan walking in here, by the way. So the room is getting more and more full here. I guess I can't talk about Ariana Grande anymore.
No more Ariana Grande. Hey, how you doing, Dirty Curdy?
Or Hope Solo's Grande.
Oh God! She's got a Grande Supreme.
No, those were Dos Grandes
with the ancho chili steak on it.
But corporation in the news now for a fine. And I love this. You know how the robocall thing has become popular now, and
well, it's illegal.
But anytime I see the whole political season start again, I'm already just annoyed because you're going to get robocalled to death, and it's always at dinner time for these political ads. But Time Warner actually just got fined $230,000 for calling one woman, over 150 times in a year.
I get these security system calls. I've got at least half a dozen in the last week. So I'll call up and I'll let it go to the person answering the phone, and they're like, "Hi, how you doing today?" I was like, "Hi, what's up? How you doing? What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, nothing. Have you heard about our security system?" I was like, "Yeah, who gave you my number?" And they're like, and I was like, and then you hang up, and then I hear click. They hang up right away because they obviously know it's illegal to call. But yeah.
Well, it's illegal to call if you put yourself on the do not call list.
I'm Which on I just did again.
I'm on that
you have
list.
to do it every 6 months or something.
Yeah, it's every year you got to renew it.
Really?
Yeah, it's every year, every 2 years.
So what you ought to do next time they call
$1
you.
million from a lawsuit like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, see, I mean, this woman got $203,000, and basically the judge ruled. Normally, it's a $1,500 per call fine, but the judge levied triple damages on this because of how offensive it was. Because 153 times in a year, that
That's
Time
crazy.
Warner kept robocalling, and it is annoying. I mean, when I was working from home and running my folks' business for a while last year,
Right.
Yeah.
they would get robocalls nonstop from Google.
Oh yeah, I turned my phone off.
Google.
And
Like Google Call?
yeah, well, Google for like their web, like basically for
fiber.
search engine
Gotcha.
optimization and stuff like that. I mean, it is just absolutely onerous how many times that you'll get called from all these groups. It's insane.
You hold a real estate license, they call you. Trilla calls you. Google calls you.
Yeah.
And it's absurd.
I got an idea for you, Miggy. Here, next time they call you, tell them you can't talk, but they should call you back at this number on a Friday night after 7 o'clock.
Ooh, good
that's
idea.
a great idea.
And when they get on really quick, just say, "Hey, you're on air." Just the legal things you have to say.
You're being recorded.
I was like, "Hey, this call may be recorded."
Well, technically,
How you doing
well,
tonight?
I don't know how that works.
Hey, yeah, you know what? This call might be recorded. How you doing? What's going on? Let's talk about security.
This call may be listened to by an audience in Japan.
Hey, hero, as they'd say in Japan.
Hello.
Oh, that's a good idea. I will do
know.
that next time.
You should.
Hey, listen, I'm on the shitter, but I'm about to fly out the house. Is there a chance you can call me? I'll be at home. It's between 7 and 9 on Friday. But I'm switching my cell phone number this week. Call me at da-da-da-da-da. There we go. That's a good idea.
Now, if I'm going to get $230,000 for 150 robocalls, I'll gladly take 150 robocalls for $230,000. That's a good sum of money.
Yeah.
But do you think that being awarded $750,000 is enough if a jail is directly responsible for your permanently broken penis?
Yes.
Say what?
Yes.
I'd say an even million.
You're okay with $1 million for never being able to use your penis again in the way that
Are
you
you
want
getting
to?
out
I
of
will
jail
go.
ever
I will
again?
go to the school of the guy with no dick and then learn all his fancy ways.
There was this is a story about an inmate that apparently had a 6-day erection. How he had a 6-day erection, I have no idea to begin
Hey,
with.
priapism.
Yeah, it is priapism. But he kept trying to... Oh, actually, he was prescribed an psychotic drug for bipolar disorder. And apparently the adverse side effect is this erection from the pills. But he kept going to the prison guards and complaining about it. Nobody treated it. Nobody did anything about it. They just ignored the guy. And because of that, he wound up permanently losing the ability to pack a punch, if you know what I mean.
Now is his penis...
Is he in for life? I got to know that first.
It actually doesn't say what his sentence is, but apparently he's 50 years old. He
don't need it anymore.
He kept saying he had difficulty walking, and they didn't say how long the sentence is that he's serving.
Now, he still has his penis. It wasn't removed or anything crazy like that.
No, it just doesn't work.
Because they have these inserts now. It's funny. They had it back in the 80s because I saw it on Donahue, which is funny because Donahue was feeling it all squeezy. Like, you can insert like a pump up, and it's literally under your taint.
Are these like those Shaq Reebok shoes?
Yes, they're
Pump
just
up?
like that. So you can insert this thing under your taint, and you literally pump up your junk.
What? Huh?
Yeah, you pump your junk up. You can literally pump it up like a Reebok shoe.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
No.
I don't need any help with that, believe me.
Well, we already know you only get it once every 3 years.
No, it's 3 months.
I thght it was every 8 years.
I heard 8 years, actually. I apologize.
Yes, Sherry and I have had sex once and a half.
In 8 years?
In 8 years.
Oh.
What's the half?
He gave her head.
Yes.
That's what he said.
He did say that earlier.
He did. I know.
You can't say anything on this show without everybody lording it over you. Now, I love this story. I love the newlywed story that Miggy has, but he doesn't know he's supposed to get into it right now because he's too busy texting on his phone instead of hosting the show.
Who you texting?